Welcome to the Smite Masters. We've got the semifinals today. We've got 4 teams competing today for their spot in the finals and a shot at $250,000. So let's kick things off on this match of Eager and Panthera with F.Dot and Zimstar.
Amanda, thank you very, very much. I'm really, really excited for this one. Personally, this is the matchup that I was kind of hoping for. I thought OMG maybe had a shot, but realistically, Panthera versus Eager really is the absolute top card for me. I think these guys are some of the best in the business, and they're ready to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, you can see Panthera a little bit shaky on game 2 yesterday against OMG. However, I don't think they're going to be that much phased about that. You know, going into Team Eager, I think they feel very comfortable.
Yeah, Eager went up against Hunger for More, and that was the most lopsided match I really think we saw. Panthera versus China, Enemy versus Chaos Latin Gamers, those were actually closer than North America versus Europe, in my personal opinion, when we saw Eager take on HFM. There's just something a little bit different that Eager's got that might have to scare Panthera.
Yeah, Eager looked very strong against HFM. I don't think anyone really expected a match that one-sided from Eager's side. So really interesting to see if they can actually bring that forward in the momentum against Panthera. I mean, Panthera still world champions though, so we'll see.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff on the side of Eager, but they're going to be going head-to-head against the defending world champions. It's Panthera, and they are certainly here, and they are ready to play. It's Dimi, the solo laner. The jungler will be adapting. You've got the mid laner, Yammyn, right there, head fronter, and there is the captain himself. It's iRaffer. In the Hunter position, it'll be emiltoo. These 5 guys have looked fantastic for the entire year. They've looked fantastic for the entirety of yesteryear, and they're going to be taking their European talents against Team Eager. Divios is your solo laner. djpernicus repping in the jungle. Your mid laner, well, it's TheBest, and he looks comfortable and ready to go. Your long lane will be supported by Aror, the chunk himself, and then it's none other than Zapman. He'll be your hunter.
Yeah, so we'll see here. I'm definitely looking towards the jungle roles for this game. You have djpernicus on the other side, djpernicus. He's has a different playstyle if you compare to adapting. Adapting very much the carry jungler for Panthera.
Yeah.
djpernicus, more of a leader. Used to play CS 1.6 back in the days. Very well acclaimed for his leadership, you know,
his in-game leadership, exactly.
Yeah.
And like you said, adapting, looking to be that frontline carry or the backline carry, just doing a lot of damage and trying to really find the kills and everything. Whereas djpernicus, he's going to be setting things up, adapting right there. I mean, people have lauded him as the best player in the world multiple times. He's run this team. He's really been a huge part of it, despite the fact that Panthera winds up being a strong team overall. djpernicus, on the other hand, he winds up setting up situations, playing Kabrakens and Odins to allow people like TheBest to come in and really do the dirty work and get all of the kills.
Interesting thing here is that adapting on the side of Panthera leads the total first bloods. He has 9 first bloods this season. djpernicus, I believe he has 6 first bloods. It may not sound like a big difference, but you know, 9 first bloods when you have 10 people, you know, in each game is a lot of first bloods.
It really is, and Team Eager. So all throughout this season, we've seen them ban Thor and Naja. So it's not necessarily anything specific towards Panthera, but anytime adapting is on the battlefield, you want to ban out that Thor. Zeus, on the other hand, will be banned next to Susano, a god that is very, very strong in the hands of djpernicus. So with all the gods off of the table, it's now time to pick, and Team Eager has their first selection.
The thing is, though, it's very hard to ban adapting out. He can play still Fenrir. He's 5-1 with Fenrir this season. He's always played Awilix 6-0 with that god, so I don't think a good situation would be banning the adapting out on Panthera. Instead, I think they need to spread out, you know, to get the favorite gods out of the way for each member.
Team Eager, a team after my own heart. They're going to go ahead and pick the first pick, Sobek. That's what we call the Brobeck Zimstar, just number 1. Their Team Eager has loved this Sobek in combination mainly with Awilix, so I really expect to see this pick. And right there, this is the composition that allowed Eager to rocket up the brackets in North America. And frankly, Awilix, Sobek, Scylla, this is the dream Eager lineup.
Yeah, so Panthera maybe didn't really look at the stats inside the Team Eager because Aror is 8-1 with the Sobek, and 4 of those wins were actually coupled with an Awilix and the Scylla. And it's a very strong composition because once you pull someone in with Awilix, if Scylla's ready, she can actually ultimate as soon as the person lands on top of her.
Panthera, for what it's worth, has a decently strong lineup. Neith is always generally a good character, whether it's for setup or defense with that World Weaver. But Bacchus is really what I'm looking at. iRaffer he's a very aggressive support, similar to Aror, and he's going to be looking for these aggressive belly flops into the combination damage from the rest of the squad. And now Kuang, that's just scary.
Yeah, we talked a lot about the jungle matchup here, but let's not forget we have Dimi against Divios in this game. Very interesting solo lane. I really hope, we're going to see some more aggressive gods coming out and just see them trying to first play each other. That'll be really interesting.
Yeah.
Especially Cabrak can ban out.
Yeah, Panthera is very aware that Divios is on the other side, and both bans coming out against Team Eager are towards the solo laner. Cabrakan's a flex, but with Awilix already selected, you can be sure that the Cabrakan ban is with solo in mind. Team Eager tend to look towards Yammyn, and they're going to take Ryzen and Isis off the table.
Yeah, Yammyn very good with Isis. I believe he is 8-0 in the SPL with Isis. As many other EU solo laners, mid laners, they love to pick the Isis. I expect... So Divios can play Vamana here. He's played Vamana a lot in the SPL. I don't really think he would want to play Vamana in this position though, because this is very much like a pick composition. The only role Vamana would have in this team would be to kind of go on the backline while they're doing quick work with whoever Awilix manages to pull in. So Chiron on the side of emiltoo. Emiltoo, we said it again before, he's a very passive player towards the early mid-game. He likes to kind of farm, sit back. We have Zapman now, very aggressive though.
It's not necessarily just for emiltoo. We've seen Yammyn play a number of hunters in the middle lane. With Neith, both of these guys can go in the long lane or middle. And we've actually seen Yammyn play Chiron mid in Season 3. So it's certainly something that is it's on the menu for Panthera. Not really sure where those two gods are going to land. The Cupid, the Zupid, if you've been following Smite for a long time. Zapman brought Cupid out yesterday. He brought him out towards the latter part of the season. Definitely something that Zapman is capable of playing very strongly. And the Osiris for Divios, always a scary god in the hand of an accomplished solo laner.
I'm pretty sure Panthera knew that he was going to go for the Osiris pick because the Ravan was banned out. I mean, he loves his Osiris. As you mentioned before, so we have Chiron and Neith on the side of Panthera. Could go anywhere, but emiltoo is 4-0 with Neith in that duel lane, and it fits him perfectly. He can just farm while he just uses the ultimate to help his team out. Exactly. I'm pretty sure you were right. We're going to see the Chiron in the mid lane.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting lineup for Panthera. They've got two horse guys. It's Chiron likely in the mid lane, but we'll find out. But the Guan Yu on Dimi, that's really the exciting one. When Guan Yu makes it all the way down to pick number 10, that means that there's a lot of interesting gods coming out on the pick ban phase. So we've got everything selected. Panthera's got an interesting lineup. They've got their Chiron, they've got their Kuang, which is very scary. They've got a Guan Yu, which is very scary. Those two gods alone are just frightening. But for Team Eager, I feel like they have a much more cohesive composition.
Yeah, very much so. They have a pick composition, you might say, with the Sobek goes in there, and Awilix actually managed to find a really good ultimate. Right. It's going to be hard to deal with that. Also, not to forget here that the Awilix ulti can actually stop the Bacchus initiation very well, drag him away from the team, make sure he doesn't get his ultimate off, and if you actually turn on him, you can kill him relatively fast while you have Osiris just zoning the backline and completely screwing up the initiation from Panthera. So Neith, Bacchus are the only ones with a leap here that Awilix can find, by their own if they jump around. Otherwise, they pretty much rely on the Sobek to get knockups for him.
And meanwhile, at the same time, you've got Cupid with the ultimate that's going to cripple anybody that really wants to run inside of it. So Chiron not going to be able to dash away and do all of his giddy-up nonsense. So that's certainly a good, strong pick. The Sobek Cupid lane is something that we've seen for a number of years. It's as classic as it comes. Panthera on the top. They're representing Europe, and they are the defending world champions. They're going to be going head-to-head against Team Eager. And we'll be getting this one underway right about now. And we'll ride along with my favorite, it's Sobek.
We haven't seen any level 1 kills yet this tournament.
Yeah.
From these invades. However, we see, of course, Eager going to try to make use of the Sobek's early game, trying to find a pluck, but we're not quite find anyone.
Yeah, so you can see as soon as Aror sees that there's nothing there to be gained, right over to the left-hand side to place out the vision. You can look right away. This is one of the more interesting things when you look at the top-tier teams, the absolute best of the best, just where the vision comes out at level 1. Eager really want to see where the solo laners are going to be starting, whether it's going to be mid to speed to blue or blue without the speed, etc. And Panthera, on the other hand, just want to see where those mid camps are.
4 very aggressive wards there put out by Eager. Relatively aggressive wards by Panthera as well. One very deep one towards the solo lane. Yeah. They both put a lot of focus, like you just mentioned, towards the solo lane. They don't really care about the dual lane at this moment.
So that Chiron mid will be the selection coming out from Panthera. they've certainly put a lot of practice into these interesting compositions. So really, when it comes down to it, Zimstar, what exactly are we expecting to see out of the Chiron mid? What does he bring to the squad?
Chiron brings his relatively good wave here. He brings a lot of poke as well, and obviously his ultimate is very good in these tight situations towards the mid camps.
Oh. Right away, look at this, look at this. Eager is gonna get crafty, and right away finding the blue buff invade.
Interesting here.
Yeah, they went directly from the mid camps, which Panthera knew about. There's a ward there from Panthera, and it didn't worry them at all. And Eager was able to go directly to the blue buff, which means Panthera heads straight to lane.
Did not see them do that.
Adapting into trouble. Feather step goodbye. Divios gets one. That's how you start a game. 40 seconds on the clock, and Eager's ready to bang.
So I actually didn't really see which pathing they chose to get there, because somehow there was no way Panthera saw him, because they wouldn't go that deep level 1. Interesting choice by Eager to push up like that, because, here we go, engagement.
There's the turnaround, belly flop right on top of Zapman, and emiltoo makes sure he can't move, but the long dash from Cupid makes sure that the American hunter stays safe.
Yeah, absolutely fine. So, here we find the puck.
Hard bomb on point, backflip is gonna be strong. That's not a stun. And the tail whip, not enough to kill. So emiltoo's safe under the tower. And don't forget, Neith has potions in addition to the nonsense that her heal is.
Yeah, a little back and forth in the duel. And I did not expect any aggression at all coming off of emiltoo. Tries to find, some damage there with iRaffer. Interesting situation there. Again, in the solo lane, a lot of times Panthera likes to actually rotate Dimi over for the mid camps right away. And if they actually did that this game as well, that would have meant they would have seen each other level 1 in the jungle, and most likely you would have seen Eager back off there.
Look at this. I regularly refer to this as the Sobekitude. A duo lane completely changes when Sobek is here. Just because of the threat of the flip, if Neith gets thrown behind those archers, a heart bomb hits, even if she backflips, she's going to take a whole bunch of poke. Here we see it on display with iRaffer. He gets hit by a couple of minions, and the heart bomb brings him down to about half HP. And Zapman gets answered as emiltoo dives right into the hunter.
So you mentioned Neith has a lot of sustain,
yes.
So does Cupid. Cupid's sustain is more mana efficient than Neith, and as you see right now, he's completely emiltoo, so any poke you can get here is just gonna mean a back for emiltoo and a loss of XP.
So we saw before that threat of the Sobek flip that I was talking about, what that allows the enemy to do. Zapman was able to zone out emiltoo, unable to get experience. So now there's a slight experience lead on the side of Cupid.
Yeah, we see the mid lane here, best level 5 already, so we might see something going on. If Aror actually finds a rotation, they could get a kill pretty quick here, at least also level 5.
That was fun. You saw the dash forward coming out from Cupid as djpernicus showed up. He had the level 5 available, so if there was a knock-up, you could see the pull, but not going to be the case, and DJ goes right back to mid.
Yeah, we see 1 kill inside of Eager so far. Not much going on. They slow down the pace a little bit here. Dual lane is still going back and forth. Not really finding any kills, just a poke. As you just mentioned, XP lead, very good point.
Ping coming out. You can see Panthera well aware that Eager are going to be on the timer here for those mid Harpies. So a little bit of a lead here for Eager. That's more than the first blood. 500 gold is really all you get, but Eager leading up by over 1,000.
So Dimi warning there. A little bit cautious now that he got, he didn't die first. However, his solo lane, is going to be a little bit ahead now. He will be a bit cautious and it's not get pushed out of this.
Second invade coming out from Eager into the enemy jungle. The first time around was about the blue buff. This time, it'll be about the speed first and now the blue. So both iterations of this blue buff. It's only spawned twice, folks, and Eager has their name on both.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much Dimi can do here other than maybe... he can maybe get adapting over there. However, they can't really find a fight in this situation. It's a little bit too early for Kuang to do anything. They need to get someone low so he can just ult them and finish him off. It's still a bit too early. I don't think it's fight it. I think it's a good decision to actually just let Eager have it for now.
And that's just the difference between the early game Awilix versus the early game Kuang. And of course, setting out Kuang back by getting the early first one onto him certainly is a big part of that. You can see level 7 on Awilix already. 700 gold ahead of the level 5 Kuang. Certainly a very large differential between these two players.
Yeah, and I wonder when we're going to see the first real team fight towards the mid. I would love to see what Yammyn can do on that Chiron with his ultimate. I think some players, it's not really that common to face him in mid. We've seen it happen a few times before, but that poke can really do a lot of damage, and if you ultimate, there's a lot of even more damage that might be hard to anticipate, especially if it hits everything.
Right, and you know, talking about the 2 hunters is actually really funny. We've got 3 hunters in this game, and they all have sustain, right? You've got the hearts from Cupid, you've got the passive from Chiron, and the unravel coming out from Neith. So certainly all have options for these guys to stick around in lane. Zapman, not on top of this one. Half HP, emiltoo getting the better of him so far in here.
Yeah, Zapman will find out with his heart, just heating up, like you see here. He just wants to, you know, he will probably try to fight emiltoo any chance he can get, because Neith is not that strong early game. Sure, during the mid game when she gets some items, she's actually pretty strong here. emiltoo's just trying to find ultimates though. And
Zapman's the type of player that we've seen regularly go for those fights, try and find these fights. emiltoo, on the other hand, not really apt to do that.
No, exactly. And Zapman here, because he will just try to, you know, finish his items up, and that Cupid ultimate, like you mentioned, during the picks and bans, will be a huge factor. But right now, the game has slowed down quite substantially. So see Eager with a 2-kill lead so far, with just 1 kill.
Yeah, it's just the superior farming coming out from Eager, specifically in the enemy's jungle. That blue buff, like we said, has not gone to Dimi whatsoever, and he's actually going to be forced to back here without the teleport on available to him. That's how well Divios has been doing here, and that really is just a big part of stealing away that blue buff. Zapman gets caught out a little bit, but no belly flop from iRaffer.
She can play it up by iRaffer, trying to find him. We're going to set it up with the Neith ultimate. It could have potentially meant a kill for them. Mostly just for the poke, though.
This is one of my favorite things that emiltoo does. We've seen this a number of times. emiltoo just sits here channeling the Neith ultimate. There's nothing for him to do in lane. There's nothing going on, so he channels it. That does a bunch of things. It muddies up the comms, and it keeps questions in the enemy's mind. Right now, there's no question. Eager's definitely going for the 3rd rotation of these buffs in Panthera's jungle.
Doing an excellent job. Oh, here we go. Negative split with Zapman.
Yeah, that's going to force out the purification, dashing forward. Heart Bomb looks like it's not going to stun, but Zapman's going to get a lot of poke onto emiltoo. But the biggest deal right there, like I said, purification on cooldown for 151.
Aror,
and now Aror's in trouble. Panthera knew that this one was coming, and now Panthera's on the board. djpernicus is trying to get away. Here comes Divios, but it's not enough. 2 kills for Panthera.
Mechanics they were adapting, really shining through, finding that kill. I must say though, Eager, you know, I was just about to compliment them on their ability to take advantage of their lead. Went a little bit too deep though, and Aror and djpernicus are gonna find themselves dead for about 10 seconds.
Well, so that was very intelligent coming out from Zapman. Zapman chose to engage onto emiltoo at that particular moment to make sure that Neith couldn't ultimate, because like we said, Eager took the last 2 rounds of buffs in the enemy jungle completely away. It's no secret that Eager's gonna be at that spawn of the speed and the blue the 3rd time. Everyone on the planet knows that. So Zapman tries to engage on the Neith to take the threat of the Neith ultimate away. But the other 4 Panthera members are still a problem, and they collapsed on the 2 trying to invade.
Yeah, I feel like, again, Eager very, you know, they tried to extend the lead further. Maybe disrespected the ability of Panthera a little bit there, though, with the first blood just feeling themselves.
Well, so I think that's Eager sort of testing it. Eager had a big enough lead where they could afford to make a mistake or 2, right? Obviously, I don't think you're looking for 2 deaths there. You're not looking for any. But if you lose 1 player then invade, it's sort of like you're daring Panthera to adapt and to change to your guaranteed invade.
From our spectrum, though, you know, Zapman engaged on that Neith, kind of shifted focus towards that side.
Right.
So we couldn't really see what was going on in, you know, near the speed buff. I'd imagine there was some kind of trouble in the communication on Eager's side, because it seemed like, you know, okay, we're taking a speed and then we're taking a fight, or we're retreating, and, you know, it just ends up being 2 kills because most likely, you know, djpernicus maybe, you know, not clear any calls.
Yeah, a little bit rough for Eager. So they're going to be on the downside of that particular team fight, but still up by about 2,000 gold, so certainly a good look for the North Americans at the moment. Panthera, they have adjusted and adapted. The reason Eager are ahead by 2,000 gold is because of those repeated invades, and Panthera are used to it, they understand, and they're no longer going to be about it. Now trying to bait iRaffer around the corner. There's the ultimate out of Cupid, but Chiron's coming from behind. They have to be very aware. Pluck, and there's the pull. There's the heart bomb. Goodbye, iRaffer. 1 kill for Zapman in that engagement, and the Cupid's got 1 for himself. Beautiful block by djpernicus to stop the hit onto Aror, and Eager will retreat safe and sound.
What a bait there by Eager. They saw the Sobek just hitting away the ward, and then just, you know, finding him with the pluck. Cupid ulti combination, perfect play there by Eager.
That is the Eager bread and butter right there. The Sobek flip into the pull of Awilix, it gives so much displacement. You're so far away from where you initially was, combined with the ultimate out of Zapman. Cupid cripples you. Now you're far away from your team, and you can't move. It's just not a good spot. Almost a guaranteed kill. Eager converts and ties the game 2-2.
This early also into the game. Bacchus not really that tanky. If that was, you know, in 10, 15 minutes from now, he probably would have survived that engagement. But, you know, without any armor items, that's a free kill every single time, and Eager knows that.
And to adjust to that, very interesting itemization choice coming out from Bacchus, actually. We see him start the Magi boots, which is normal. You want to do a lot of damage. But then a second starter item coming out, Mark of the Vanguard, is going to be picked up here.
Yeah, so I believe he just felt, you know, he was falling a bit too much behind here. He needed to pick up something very cheap to make him a little bit more tanky, maybe tank the creeps if he's engaging. You know,
Half HP on the Gold Fury. Eager going to release it.
Eager, probably feeling, you know, they don't want to do the same mistake they did over at speed buff. Because if they find themselves, you know, two deaths there, that's easily a Gold Fury for the son of Panthera, and all of a sudden you have an even game.
Exactly, and Bacchus is one of the most adept gods when it comes to stealing these things. DJ lurking in the jungle, trying to get a backside, wants to find a flip, does, grabs the pull, emiltoo over the wall, beads a little bit too late, and here comes Aror for the backside.
No,
Beautiful ultimate from Zapman, and emiltoo's gone. One kill for the jungler, but adapting answers right on back. Aror's in some trouble, up with the ultimate, I'm a monster, gonna land on Raffer's spot, and Raffer's not gonna be there. Jumping away is the fat man, one kill going the way of Eager, one kill going the way of Panthera.
That's looking to re-engage here though.
Wonderful dash, and here comes Dimi looking for the stun. Best's in trouble, 2 stuns, Auror's in trouble as well. Coming around from the right side, Zapman, but the ultimate from adapting is strong. He's gonna look to re-engage. He's gonna look to re-engage right on top of Divios, and he's gonna fall as well in his own jungle. Double kill for adapting. 4-1-1 for the jungler.
How did adapting get so good at this game? You know, he's just 4-1 now. Kuang is the hero that, you know, Panthera needs right now. He's really being that, like we talked about before, the carry for his team.
Absolutely.
Jungle carry there, Kuang in the jungle. Perfect play by him, right? They just counter-engaged perfectly with the Guan ultimate. He knew when to go in perfectly.
Zapman and Friends are going to try and burst down this Gold Fury really quick. Already half HP and below, 25%, and nobody from Panthera are even aware. Eager to lose the team fight by a mile, but answer back in kind by taking the objective. Wonderful play. They find themselves up 1,700 gold because of fantastic objective awareness.
Very weird there that, you know, Panthera didn't have any vision or any control at all. I guess they thought that, you know, Eager was backing out after that engagement, after losing so many members to adapting. So.
I mean, that's a weird Gold Fury to go for. You just lost, you lost the team fight.
They must have known, though, there was no vision available, or it was just like a Hail Mary thing. Okay, let's try the Gold Fury and see if they come, we're just going to back out immediately.
Like they did 3 minutes ago.
Exactly, and I'm pretty sure if it was djpernicus call, excellent call by him.
Yeah, just wonderful leadership from the top down. That, I think, is probably the biggest difference for Eager this year. We've spoken to Zapman a number of times, and he says, hey, I've personally matured a little bit. I think djpernicus has personally matured a little bit. If you look at all these players, TheBest, Divios, Aror, I think all these guys have tended to mature a little bit in their gameplay and in their thought processes. They understand that you don't always play for the Jiffy Cat, just sometimes.
Yeah, I think Zapman kind of channeled his own inner ego into Eager. So instead of, you know, being Zapman, and that's his brand, I'm Zapman, the carry, the hyper carry.
Right.
He kind of made an organization and put his name on top of the organization instead. Oh, and engaging him with that thing.
Yeah, Panthera's looking to put their name on top of Divios. See you later. That's going to be a kill. Adapting, holding on to the ultimate that time around. Dimi takes the tower, and it's a 2-on-1 kill in the solo lane.
By the time the Neith ult came in, I'm like, he should be fine. He's very healthy here. But
nice tank. Sanctuary out of emiltoo, going to avoid the damage from the Cupid ultimate. But the boxing match not going the way of Zapman. He's going to heal up just a little bit. But Yammyn through the wall, looking for the ultimate. 1, 2, 3 hits. Zapman gets hit by them, and they both die. Zapman takes out emiltoo. emiltoo takes out Zapman. Draw, but the assist from Yammyn through the wall. Absolutely beautiful play by the mid lane Chiron.
Yammyn found 3 hits there with
3 hits and the masterful.
That was really an incredible play there. I'm pretty sure the communication went something like, okay, emiltoo, just kill this guy. He's bothering you. I'm going to help you.
Yammyn through the wall, max range, can't stop it. Best gets baited, but hits the ultimate anyway. Masterful shot, pokes him on back. Wonderful Sanctuary coming out from Panthera. 2 in a row. 1 on the Neith and 1 on the Chiron. Both of these Sanctuaries have been very important, but now that they're down, Eager's going to look for the opportunity. Aror knocks up, gets the pull. slows coming out for the ultimate out of the proc. Dimi looking for the damage, not the stun. The pop-up from Sobek, not enough to separate. Now adapting force backwards. Dimi in some trouble. iRaffer on the left-hand side. Keep your eye on the support. Best right on behind him. Eager want to retreat from this. This is a good situation for Panthera, and Panthera should push and maybe even look for the tier 1, but instead they're going to slink into the jungle.
Adapting, scaring away TheBest here. We'll see if he's going to actually come from the backside here. I don't think Panthera wants really dived in. Oh, actually, Yammyn's rotating over already.
Yeah, everybody but Neith is here, and you can take a look. Neith has the ultimate, so Neith is half here. This is a 4.5 on 2. You always have to take that into account. When Neith is on the map, even if she's not at the team fight, her ultimate is readily available to find a stun or some additional damage.
If the choice, though, for me was between having a Cupid on side or Neith ultimate, I'd choose a Cupid any day. So sure, the ultimate for Neith is really, adapting, taking a lot of damage here.
Yeah, a lot of poke. The ultimate from Cupid and the heart bomb going to bring adapting down to half HP.
Yeah, so as I was saying, Neith is, like you said, a global ultimate, very, very strong in these team fights. However, if I could choose having a Cupid there for the damage and ultimate and everything, or having a Neith ult on the other side, sure, I would choose a Cupid. However, maybe emiltoo should have pushed up a little bit faster there because he was just taking the red buff during all the time and the back camps. I think emiltoo is a little bit scared here of Zapman because Zapman is being aggressive all game long, and he knows if he's dying, it's going to translate into a tier 1 tower easily, or actually just rotations from his team to defend that tier 1 tower, and that means pressure somewhere else on the map, and they lose a lot of map pressure and control.
Zapman being aggressive in every opportunity, that's classic Zapman. I mean, Steve Zappas has been playing this game for the past couple of years, and that's always been his calling card. We might have seen some refinement of it over the past year or so with the success that Eager has had, but really, he's still going to be aggressive. I feel like this Cupid ultimate Fields of Love is coming out on cooldown.
Yeah, he's just going in everything. He just wants to emiltoo to know that, I will try to kill every single time. Don't try to do any, weird things in my lane here. Just don't try to be cute with me because I will punish you. But as I said before, I think Zapman kind of channeled that ego into Eager and then to finish that. So Eager as an organization is very tied to Zapman. If he can make Eager, the superstar brand instead, he can be shutting the ego.
Panthera on the right-hand side looking for Divios.
Adapting, noticing right away, though.
Yeah, Divios figured this one out. Ultimate already used, and there's the execute. Adapting, gobbling up the solo lane.
Adapting, just knowing, look at the vision control. Do you see on the right side here, any blue wards at all towards the lane? Not a single one, only sentry wards. He's clearing up the wards every single time. Eager, though, starting the Gold Fury.
Classic response. When the players show a lot of weight on the right-hand side, you go ahead and you start the Gold Fury. iRaffer is on the backside being zoned out by Aror. Half HP is the Gold Fury. There's the ultimate as well. Up in the air is I'm a monster. Panthera stealing. Yammyn gets a kill as well. djpernicus over the fence is going to be safe, but Aror, not so much. 10 kills to 4. Panthera steal away the Gold Fury and steal away the lead. 44,000 gold above Eager. 4K lead for the Europeans.
What a heartbreaking situation here for Eager. They had it all. They had a 2-3K lead. Now they just flipped the table completely. Panthera is sitting on it. Almost 4.4K lead here. And as this tier 2 tower is going down, extended even further. 6K lead now on Panthera. What happened?
What happened was a beautiful attention to Divios over there in the solo lane, understanding that Divios is going to force a certain response from Eager on the left side. And if that trade happens, well, that's wonderful. It all goes well and good. But if Panthera wind up winning both situations, it tilts drastically in their favor. Not only do they get a Gold Fury, not only do they get 2 kills, not only do they get a tier 2 in the mid lane, but they get a tier 1 in the duo lane. Too much to handle right now. Panthera go from down a couple of thousand gold to up 6K very quickly.
So on paper, the call was actually really good.
It was beautiful.
Something just happened. Okay, so adapting in the solo lane, I know as soon as that happened, you can be sure that Divios was calling out to his teammates, and they all just went for Gold Fury.
Exactly.
On paper, very good call.
Yep.
However, you have to be water, my friend. You have to react to different situations. And what happened is they couldn't really take the fight there because Yammyn came in from the backside, really good rotation, and then you have a 6-1 now of Kuang. Just he came in from the solo lane a little bit late though, but you have to be careful now because Kuang is getting huge and he's a very strong god.
And here we see the exact thing that we're talking about in the pregame. As Aror goes ahead, pops the curse. That's the slow bet.
Good beat, so
and emiltoo's gonna just purify it away.
Rotation. We talked about Panthera's rotation. Look at his entire team now. All 4 other members rotating into the dual lane instantly.
Adapting's coming as well. Dimi's in the mid lane in case he needs to rotate over. So Eager there's no tower here. They have to fall all the way back to the tier 2, and iRaffer's going to be able to find the angle. djpernicus uses Purification, and a great route coming out from Best. A good pluck from Aror, but he finds himself a little bit too deep, and adapting it takes out the support. Zapman in some trouble, dashes towards the back of the tower, and now Panthera, 5 men deep, pushing down to tier 2 tower. This is the last tower on the map. It's 19 minutes.
Yeah, they just turned on a switch here and just went bananas. I mean, I don't know what happened. They just killed everything. Now they have every single tower down in the game. They're just looking for Phoenixes now.
This is incredible. At 12 minutes, Panthera wins that team fight and eager to take out the Gold Fury. In a 7-minute swing, Panthera turned this game completely on its heels. Zapman has to use the ultimate defensively. There's the monster. It's off the mark. iRaffer walks to the right. The Phoenix goes down. iRaffer is still alive. This is completely changed, and Panthera find themselves up 8K.
I must give credit here to Panthera's mechanics. They're just so gifted mechanically that, you know, Eager is playing correct in terms of strategy.
emiltoo rocking the taunt right in the face, finds the root and backflip, but there's the grab. emiltoo's gonna pay for it. Aegis is used, he's gonna walk out. iRaffer's gonna jump on top. Divios is triggered, he's looking for the kill, and he's not gonna find it. DJ does, takes out iRaffer, continuing on, looking on the right side. djpernicus is gonna fall. Zapman will heal up himself, and emiltoo, the guy who started it all, is still alive as he watched Aror fall down.
Zapman in a bit of trouble here is adapting. You don't want adapting, chasing around, you know, on a Kuang, because this is a situation that's just gonna end.
emiltoo starts a fight by looking at somebody the wrong way. A surrender vote has started. That cannot feel good. Panthera's got 15 kills above Eager's 5, and they're just too strong right now. You mentioned it. The mechanics, Eager has planned. Eager has drafted. Eager has executed Gold Furies. Eager has done successful things, but at the end of the day, Panthera's just hitting their buttons.
You can have the best in-game leader in the world, but you also need the mechanical skill and ability and have the presence of mind to execute those strategies perfectly, otherwise it's not going to work out for you. I think Panthera didn't really expect to be on the back foot from the start of the game or adapting at first, but he died first in the game, and now it's 9-1-2. What a player. What a player.
Eager not going to even show face towards the fire giant. Panthera maintains their 10,000 gold lead, takes out the big boy, and now they are poised to start another push. And when I say another push, I very well mean that this could be the last SimStar. If Panthera win a team fight the way they just won theirs, that's going to be game.
Yeah, towards the early phase of the game, I was feeling like Eager actually had.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a huge
Just look at that. You see, through the entirety of the game, Eager had a little bit of a lead. It came down. That's the team fight they lost. And then up right at 11 minutes, that's when they take out the Gold Fury. And then all of a sudden, it just drops like a rock in the ocean.
Yeah, just, you know, subsequent events happening that, you know, Panthera took advantage from, and just small things. Okay, so if you look at Eager during the early and the mid-game, they actually look pretty good. You know, they were on the way to actually beat Panthera. But then something happened, adapting came online, and, you know, it was just too much to handle at this moment. And I think they just underestimated a little bit just how good Panthera are. Yeah,
just a little bit. Eager definitely feeling very strong right now, and for good reason. I think they've just been very strong in general. Adapting on the left side, getting spotted by djpernicus. Zapman will join his jungler on the left side. Everybody else still in the mid lane. Quietly, carefully pushing his Panthera. Not yet just engaging real hard. Root on Aror to stop the clock from dashing real quick. Wave's going to be cleared. There's a slow onto Yammyn.
Yeah, we see Eager trying to defend this mid.
There's a shell. That means iRaffer's ready to go. Adapting goes right on the DJ. He's going to be stunned. Over the wall goes Divios. Adapting picks up DJ. Panthera, they take out the mid Phoenix, and they force the best into the ultimate. Best falls down. Aror's going to fall as well. Double kill for the jungler, and the Titan is the focus. Panthera take this game in 23 minutes, and Eager had a fantastic start and a terrible finish.
What a perfect display here of experience towards the late game. Panthera knowing exactly how to push the advantage.
They want to kill Zapman. They wanted to kill Zapman before they took out the Titan, but that one goes the way of Panthera. Eager, it just fell right through the cracks of their fingers.
Yeah, so what's worrying me if I'm Eager right now is that, you know, I got some of my favorite picks, some of my best gods. Actually, in terms of stats, and they still got demolished.
I think that it was just a couple of unfortunate events, like you said. I think Panthera wound up getting the best of them in individual team fights one too many times. And of course, I am going to point to that emiltoo taunt so many times. Dimi on the Guan, certainly a big part of it, but emiltoo with the taunt on Neith forced Eager. They forced Eager's hand. And that caused Eager to go in, take a fight that I don't think they were well equipped to get. I don't think they were ready to win that team fight. And that, we saw the surrender vote come out, Simon. I mean, it just didn't look too good.
Yeah, so I'm a bit worried too. The surrender vote, does that mean that, you know, there was some tilt going on Eager's side, do you think? Or it was just like for fun?
Yeah, no, I definitely think that there were some rough feelings going on right there.
Who do you think pressed the F6?
I'm not ready to say that.
Okay.
I don't know who specifically hit the F6, but it certainly was a team-wide feel of tilt.
Look at the damage difference here from adapting 18.2k if you compare to djpernicus 4.8k.
And I want to point out that most of these games, even the games if Panthera loses any, will look like that. Adapting will have a longer bar than djpernicus because, as we said, the difference between these two guys is that adapting is going to be looking for the damage, whereas DJ is looking for the setup to allow Zapman and Best to wind up doing the heavy lifting. So it's about different play styles here. And I don't think necessarily that DJ has to be larger to go ahead and find. I don't think that damage has to be larger for them to find a win. I think this is what they have to avoid here.
Yeah, I love the rotation here by Yammyn to just set it up for emiltoo. They had a big back and forth there towards the start of the fight, and then we just see what happened.
Yeah, this was really fun. Back and forth, then Yammyn shows up from around the corner. But both of these guys, they're ready to take the fight. emiltoo and Zapman both think they have this one. Zapman doesn't even know that someone's coming around the corner, doesn't even care. They think both of them have this, and both of them die.
Just as he died there, you can see the missile projectile coming up from Chiron. I think if he just backed off a little bit there, he could have actually survived. It maybe, you know, he would just try to get him out of the game as before he died.
I mean, coulda, shoulda, woulda, right? But at the end of the day, I think that one just winds up being kind of funny. Sometimes you just gotta laugh. The plays just wind up being kind of amusing sometimes. But what wasn't amusing for Eager was definitely the couple of team fights towards the end. Dimi here, trying to figure out what he's going to do towards the next game. If you're Panthera, is there anything that you want to change? Do you have a problem being down in the early game?
Well, I mean, not if it's going to be this easy turn towards the late game, right? If as long as they can just, capitalize on a mistake by Eager. And I think everything started from the invade by Eager towards the speed buff.
Yeah, for sure. It was just a lot of nonsense coming out from the guys on Eager, trying to steal the enemy jungle. But here, Panthera, they're going to be the stealers. They're going to be the robbers. And this one was really the gold fury. Yeah, Eager starting it, and then Yammyn comes from around behind. You mentioned this one.
Yeah, it just ultis, finds it before the best. The best a little bit later on the Scylla ultimate. Scylla ultimate does way more damage, than the Yammyn ultimate just from one hit. So a little bit, mistiming there cost them another gold fury. Just small mistakes throughout the game just cost Eager the lead completely.
2-0-14 is Chiron mid. Like I said, this is a pick that we've seen once or twice during the regular season. It's not completely out of nowhere, and Yammyn's certainly the guy to do it. He's played a number of interesting guys in mid, whether they be hunters or otherwise, and we know that Panthera's not afraid to shy away from that. During week number 10, we saw Adapting play mid, and he was playing on her mid, and then he wound up jungling with it. These guys are ready to experiment. They're ready to do things that are off mark. They don't always have to play Giannis mid. They're ready to play some different things. So we see the Chiron, and we see a successful Chiron.
I think if Eager wants to win his next game, they just need to make sure they don't make as many mistakes. I think they got a little bit ahead of themselves there when they found the first blood, on the king of first blood himself. He just turned around completely though, ended the game, 10-1 or something. So they just need to be careful with those invades. I like when teams take advantage, and we see some teams struggling with that, especially international teams like OMG or Red Candice, which I saw yesterday. They don't really know what to do with the kills. Eager very good at that and realizing when they had an upper hand, but they actually just kind of underestimated the ability of Panthera.
Emily.